Many people come up with excuses whenever they face uncomfortable situation when there is their fault involved. But that is totally incorrect. And in this video I'm going to explain you why and how you should absolutely avoid, absolutely exclude any excuses from your life and from your behavior. If this sounds interesting, let's get right into the topic. What is up guys, it's Pasha here, and in this video let's talk about excuses. Now, we all know that excuses are bad, but some of us might not understand and might not realize the whole issue behind them. And so in this video I will talk about the negative impacts of excuses and also what are some of the solutions to the situations when you are willing to come up with some excuses, when you feel that you've done something wrong but you really don't want to show it to other people and you don't want to lose reputation. If you want to find out how to do just that, then watch this video until the end, and by the end of the video you will hopefully have a good understanding of the topic of excuses and why it is so important to avoid them from your life. Alright, without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. So, first we need to understand what's really that bad about excuses. There are a couple of things. First, we need to understand that when we come up with excuses, we stop ourselves from improving in that particular area. We just stop ourselves from making any progress. We just say that it's not our fault, right? Excuse means that it's not really my fault, it's just happening because of other people or some other factors. Let's say you are being late, and when people ask you what happened, you say, oh, it was the traffic. What you really do here is you put the issue that has occurred, right? You are late, you have missed something important probably. You put that onto other people who cause traffic. So in that case, you just stop yourself from growing because you say it's not me, it's other people. And so guess what? Other people, are they going to stop causing traffic? To be there, a lot of cars on the roads? Is that going to happen? No, of course not. Now, what you can and what you should absolutely do is that you should wake up early, prepare yourself on time, get ready, whatever it takes, you need to get it done before you can go somewhere and just have those extra 10 or 15 minutes that you are going to be able to spend on the road or whatever it takes your time, so that in the future you will not be late. Alright, so again, the excuse might work. The traffic might have been slow. There was probably a car accident or something else, but it doesn't really matter here, because again, excuse stops you from growing and you just want to fix it. Because people, now let's move on to the second point here. Okay, people do not really care if it's your fault or if it's just circumstances. They do not really care, because when they see that you come up with excuses, they know that you fear that you aren't able to fix it. Okay, that's what people think when you come up with some excuses for something that has happened. Okay, that is really just putting you in their point of view. You just become a weak person who is not able to fix the problem. Okay, so when you come up with excuse, you basically say, I'm sorry, I cannot fix it. Let's just assume that other people, it's a fault of other people. Okay, that's what people see in you when they see that you come up with excuses. Just recall some situations when you saw people giving some excuses. What did you think of them? Did you think that they are great people, strong, successful? Is that what you thought about them? No, that's not. Right? You thought they are losers. And so, again, when the next time you're going to think of some excuses for yourself, just keep that in mind. People will think of you as a loser. That's just how it works. Right? So, again, when people assume that by giving excuse they will save their reputation, that is totally incorrect. Now, in fact, if you tell the truth in an honest way, I've made a mistake. Accept the truth, okay? If it's your fault, just accept it. You need to accept in order to grow, okay? So I suggest you to just challenge yourself to accept the truth no matter what it is. If you have made a mistake, if you are facing some consequences after that, then just be it so. Don't try to make things up, because that's gonna ruin everything. Your reputation and the whatever you are doing, whatever the issue is around, it's going to ruin everything. Okay? Now, the honesty that you can express is actually very valuable. Now, let me give you some examples. The first example is very, very common. Okay? Whenever people have some issues with finances, oftentimes when you ask them, what do you think of money? They will likely say that, you know what, the money won't make me happy. And that's their excuse, right? They say the money won't provide me what I want, what I value a lot, alright? And so they don't have it, alright? It's just simple as that. Have you ever seen a successful person talking about money in that way? No, they didn't. They don't do so. Because they do not come up with excuses. Even if they know that material things won't really make them happy, money is just an opportunity to do something. It depends on how much you have, but that's another topic. Alright, so deep down they might understand that they are wrong. But just because they know that they fear that they aren't really able to fix it, they say, you know what, it's not worth it. So that's just a stupid thing that prevents people from any sort of growth. Alright, so that's the first example. Now I would like to give you my own example where the person showed honesty and it was valued a lot, and it actually saved him reputation. Alright, so the group of students in my class were late after the lunch break, and the issue was that they just wasted their time on some video games. And of course, when you play video games, you don't really notice how the time goes, and so a group of students came in late. Their teacher asked them about it. Why are you late? What caused it? What's the problem? The teacher knew the problem, by the way. but they asked it just in the hope of maybe somebody telling them the issue. And so most of the students just came up with some random reasons. They said, oh, there was a line during the lunch break for the food, so we couldn't really get food on time, and so that was their excuse. All right, now one student, he told the truth, just how it was. Okay, he said, I've played the game for too long and did not notice how the time went by. He said it in very simple words, and the teacher was absolutely shocked because she never expected to hear it. Nobody told that. Nobody wanted to say that it was their fault. Nobody wanted to accept it. But he did. And guess what? Those students who told lies, they told false excuses, which made zero sense. Because it was their fault, even if the line for the food was big, it was still their fault because they were late. Not somebody who caused the line. Not somebody else, it was them. Alright, so that student who told the truth, he wasn't punished. He was just warned that next time he should pay more attention to time. And so that was a lesson for me, and it really showed me that honesty oftentimes is way more valuable than just trying to excuse yourself, even if it might work in some way. You might provide enough information so that people will assume that, you know, maybe it wasn't really your issue, it wasn't really your problem. But again, that's just it doesn't really matter. Okay, it's an excuse, and you won't fix it unless you accept that you've done something wrong. Okay, if the traffic is heavy, just wake up early, 15 minutes or half an hour. That will fix it. Okay. Alright, I hope you got the message here. I really want you to accept the truth how it is and focus on fixing the problem yourself, not just blame others. And if this was useful, please drop a like, subscribe to this channel for more of this content, and as always guys, see you in the next video.